Welcome back to the second edition of my Information Studies Pasco review, that is Infs111. We are going to continue with the next set of questions, which is 50 questions. Already I've released 50 questions. We are going to continue with the rest of the questions, which is also 50. After this video, another video will be released as soon as possible, so you have like 200 questions in all, and I believe these questions are going to help you a lot. Make sure you hit on the subscribe button to give me a follow. Don't just follow me alone, but like the video, share it on your platforms, and share with your friends, and I believe God will bless you. Before I start, I want you to know that it is all about information studies, and you need to pay attention to everything I do. Okay, make sure you pay attention to the answers and everything. And if you don't understand anything, don't hesitate to drop a comment. Okay, just drop it under the comment section. I'll release a link under the comment section too. That is those of you who are not on my WhatsApp channel on YouTube, on WhatsApp. Okay, so I'll just drop that link. You click on it and it directly send you to my WhatsApp channel. It is not a WhatsApp group, it is a WhatsApp channel. So it will help you, it will link you to my channel, so you follow me. Everything I do there or post there, you get access to it. And those of you too who are willing to support this channel, okay, or probably are willing to support the work I do, probably just help improve the videos and everything. Sometimes some of you complain about the quality of the videos and other stuff. So if you want to support, you can reach out to me on 0545 412017, and God will bless you. Without really wasting my time, let's continue. Okay, number 51. This is a collection of books, graphics, and other materials in digital format. Okay, this one I already gave you the answer in the first episode. Okay, but in the episode 2, it is a full question. Okay, I explained it, but it wasn't a question. So the answer is what we call digital library or digital library, right? So it is not reciprocity, not collection development or archive management, but it is what digital library. So if the information is in a digital format, then we call it what a digital library. Number 52, the storage, information storage and writing are A, distinct, B, intertwined, C, different, and then D, unique. So information and storage are intertwined. Okay, they are bedfellows, they are inextricably intertwined. When you say they are intertwined, it means they are together. You can't separate one from the other. When you create information, you must store it. Okay, just imagine you having a lot of WhatsApp messages and you wake up for WhatsApp to tell you that you have lost all your chat. No matter whatever chat you had with people, you have lost that information. Okay, even if it is in a form of evidence, you can't use it against anybody. So when you create information, you must store it, right? Let's move on to number 53. Information can be sent via carrier pigeons, true or false? Yes, you can send information through carrier pigeons. When you talk of carrier pigeons, they are what the those that some of us call parrots. Okay, in the olden days, where there was no email, where there was no WhatsApp and other form of communication networks. Okay, we used to send information through the carrier pigeons. So you give your information. Okay, if you watch some of these old movies, the foreign movies, they will just write it on paper and they tie it on its leg, and then the carrier pigeon would fly and then give it. A typical example is what we call Merlin. Okay, sometimes they use that one, and some of them sometimes they use this one to, what do you call it, the dragons, to send information. So that is it. So it answer is true. Okay, let me give you try question 1. In this one, this is what our first try question. Try this one. Digital libraries possess these characteristics except A, they can all be searched. B, they can be what accessed from anywhere. C, they can all be copied using electronic means. And then D, they do not need electronic devices to be accessed. This one, we've already solved it in the first episode, but in episode 2, I'm giving to you as a try question. If you have not watched the episode 1, make sure you go and watch it. It is going to help you. The questions there are questions that you can't afford to mix, so make sure you go back, check my channel, watch it. If you have not turned on the notification bell after subscribing, do that, so I'll bring you the next part so you get access to that. Number 53, Alexander Bain developed which of the inventions or which of the technologies did he bring on board? So Alexander Bain, he developed what we call fax machine. So fax machine was developed by what? Alexander Bain. Alexander Bain. I'm not mentioning other options for you because I want you to be familiar with what? The one that invented fax machine. Okay, so the answer is what? Alexander Bain, who developed what? Fax machine. Okay, so he developed fax machine in 1843. Number 55, communication nowadays can take place electromagnetically, but not optically. It is false. Information, communication has to take place through electromagnetic means, or probably the optical means. Okay, so information takes place in electromagnetically and then what? Optically. So the answer is what? False. Right. Number 50 says the gap in comprehension, capability, and access to technology in order to make use of digital information is called A, value; B, moral; C, ethics; and then D, digital divide. So it is what? Digital divide. So when you talk of digital divide, this is the gap in what? In comprehension. Okay, when you come to Africa, you look at the gap between male and female. Okay, their access to how they access information. You go to some countries, you could see that there's a wide gap between the number of users of the internet. Okay, and mostly it could be that the male that are having access to that, and the female are not really having access to the internet. So the digital divide really works in the remote areas and then countries that are yet to develop. Okay, so it is mostly that is it. So places like Africa, places like China. Okay, but when you go to Europe, the digital divide is quite okay, right? Let's move on. Number 57, the prevention of the following was done by Sumerian writing except A, complex records; B, Gilgamesh epic; C, code of Hammurabi; and then D, heliographics. So the answer is what? Heliographics. So the all the following, okay, all the following was done by the Sumerians. So we look at the options. We have what? Complex writing. We have mythology. We have what? Gilgamesh epics, which is what? The first known as what? Literature of what? Ancient Mesopotamia. So when they ask you of the Gilgamesh epic, okay, it is also known as what? Literature in the ancient Mesopotamia. And then we have what? Code of Hammurabi. Okay, Hammurabi. That what? It happened in what? In the 1759 to 1750 BC. That's what? The year before our Lord. That is what? It happened. They invented that thing before what? Christ was born. So it is also known as what? The Babylonian laws. Okay, compiled by what? The sixth ruler Hammurabi. Okay, number 58. CIPA stands for CIPA. When you say CIPA, CIPA, it stands for what? So the answer is what? Children's Internet Protection Act. Children's Internet Protection Act. This act was implemented to prevent what? Children from accessing some sensitive content in the internet, pornographic and other materials. If you don't protect your children from such content, they will end up doing things that you didn't really teach them. So it is what? Important to really implement these measures to regulate the content that our children get. And most of you too, this advice goes to you, the parents. Some of you have children, they are using phone, you don't even check the kind of content or the things they watch on their phones. Okay, some of these children, they do weird things. So please, if you have a child, be very mindful of the kind of devices they use. Okay, you can go through their phones, check everything. You can check their search histories. Okay, when you go to Google and you try searching something, if they are searching something, you see. If they are learning, you see. If they are watching porn, you also see everything. Their search history will be there, so you can what, you can check everything they do. All right, and you go to YouTube, places like YouTube, you go to TikTok and other stuff. The things that they normally subscribe to, okay, are things that normally they get on their phone instantly. So if you always see some of these negative content popping up on their phone, that means that that's what they like. That is their interest. Okay, Facebook gives you information based on your demographic, your interest, your how do you call it? There's also another there are so many ways. Those of us, me, I'm a digital marketer, so I know how they send information to you. Okay, so when you go to see somebody picture and you like it, okay, they'll give you another picture of the person because they know that you like it. Okay, so if you like this video, it means that any video I release, you get, even though you may not subscribe to my channel, but you'll be on your timeline and YouTube will give you information like this. So please make sure I'm very, very concerned about this. That's why I'm giving you this advice. Monitor your children very well. Okay, if not and that is not the best option. Okay, this is another try question. Try question 4. Alphabet in the heliographic represent what? A, object. B, number. C, that is what? Phonetic. So please drop it under the comment section. Try question 4. If you know the answer, drop it. And then the 5 is what? Idea. A. D is what? Ideas. Right. Let's move on to number 59. Steam locomotive was invented steam locomotive was invented in 1814. It was invented in 1814 by George Stephenson. Okay, George Stephenson, who invented what? Steam locomotive. Number 60. First MP3 player came in 1998. So MP3 player, it came in 1998, right? So I'm not mentioning other date for you because they are irrelevant to me at the moment. The only thing is to identify the correct date. If I mention them, you may know you may be confused with the date. Okay, that's why I'm mentioning the correct answer. So this is what A, which is what? 1998. So the first MP3 came in 1998. Another try question 5. Okay, please, those of you who are not taking part in the try questions, please do that. Okay, assuming you are in the examination hall and you get something like this and you don't have any idea about, so this one, that's what, when you try and you fail, you can still go and make what? Amendment. I'll go through your answers. If you are wrong, I'll let you know. If you are right, I'll let you know. So try question 5. The preservation of the following, okay, preservation of the following was done by the Sumerian writing, except A, complex records, B, Gilgamesh epics, C, code of Hammurabi, and then D, hieroglyphics. We have solved this already, so please, I want the answer. If it is code of Hammurabi, drop it. Number 62. This was the standardized Chinese script in 221 BC. Okay, the standardized Chinese script in 221. Okay, so option we have what? A, Shi Huangdi. B, oracle bone inscriptions. C, bronze inscriptions, and then D, cuneiform. So the answer is what? Shi Huangdi. So the standardized Chinese script, which was what? Which was invented in the 221 BC. Was what? It was developed by what? By what? It was called what? The Shi Huangdi. Was called the Shi Huangdi. That's a standardized Chinese script. The name should even let you know the answer. The moment you see Chinese and you see Shi Huangdi there, you should choose it like that. Cave paintings are done to depict the following, except A, prayers to God, B, hunting activities, C, magic spells, and then D, communication with what? Contemporary. So let's look at the options here from your slides. So the cave paintings are what? Are meanings of the paintings. Meanings of the paintings are subject to conjecture, right? Conjecture. So we have magic spells, we have prayer to gods, we have what? Mere documentation of hand, and also represent all effort to communicate to what? to contemporaries, perhaps the gods, and then descendants or later generation. Okay, so we have what? Prayer to God here, haunting activities or magic spells, and then what? We have what? Communication with contemporaries. Communication. Okay, that is part. Magic spells is also part. We have prayer to gods. Prayer to gods is also what? Is also prayers to gods. Okay, it's also part. Hunting activity is not hunting activities are not part. So you see, we have what? Hunt and not hunting. Okay, so that's why it is not part. Hunting activities, not hunt. It should be a hunting, okay, and not hunt. Okay, so 64. Equalization of information as seen in the following, except A. Formal education, B. Deposit libraries, C. Direct payment to individuals, and then D. Creation of information. So we have equalization of information. All of them are part. You could see the options from your slide. The only option which is not part is what? Creation of information. It is what? Not an option. So the answer is what? Creation of information. Anything that prevents free flow of the communication process is called. So this is what? A fill in. So you'll be getting something like this. So they ask you anything that prevent free flow of what communication is called. The answer is what? Barrier. Barrier. Okay. Number 66. Dash creation of systems to facilitate management and control of information flow. This is what we call what? Informatics. So informatics are what? They are creation of systems to facilitate management and control of information flow. So it is what? Informatics. Number 67. First broadcast of television program was made by Dutch in 1930. So it was made by what? BBC, British Broadcast Corporation. So this is also what I'm giving you about 5 feelings. So it's going to be like, if you watch all the videos I'll be released, I'm going to give you like 10 feelings. And definitely, if you get 5 out of them, you're good to go. So the first broadcast of television program made by what? The BBC in 1930. Okay, another feeling, number 68. Information dash and writing are intertwined. Okay, I've already explained this, so you should drop the answer. You already know the answer already. So the answer is what? Storage. So information storage and writing are intertwined. They are together like what? Romeo and Juliet. Let's move forward. Number 69. Data through a process of change is systematically arranged and processed to become what? So data what? Through a process of what? Change is systematically arranged and processed to become what? So when you arrange data, they automatically become what? Information. So the answer is what? Information. Let me give you an example. When you go to, assuming I'm in your class right now and I want to know the number of males and female there, so I'll give you pen and paper. I put it in a tally form. So first person will write 1, 2, 3. If I get 5, then I what I put 1 in between them, just like you cancel it, like the way they do the tally. So I'll do that when I do these tallies. Okay, like I get like 5 of them, and maybe I get also 6 for the female, 5 for the male. Okay, these things are their data. It's a mere data that I've collected. But if I count all of them and I get, let's say like 60% of the number of people in your class to be what? To be males, and then 40 to be what? Females. I can say that out of what? The 100 students in business administration class, 60 of them are males, and then 40% are what? Females. So this becomes what? Information, because you have processed the data from its raw state to what? To information. Number 70. Dash barrier affect recipient's reaction to the message or information. So A, procedures, B, effectiveness, C, technical, D, organizational, and then E, smooth. So this is what? Effectiveness barrier. Effectiveness barrier It's what? It affects the recipient's what? Reaction to the message or information. Okay, so that is it. Number 71, feedback simply means response from what? The A, information, B, system, C, recipient, D, sender, and then E, medium. So feedback is when you what? Get response from the recipient, right? From the recipient, the person that you send the information to. If you get what? A response from that person, the person that receives the information is called what? A recipient. So if you get a feedback from the person, then it is what? Or if you get a response from that person, it becomes what? A feedback. Number 72, multilingualism is a solution to A, information, B, linguistic, C, verse, D, infrastructure, and then E, sound. So multilingualism is a solution to what? Linguistic barrier. When you say linguistic barrier, I have someone here, that person speaks Shin Shin Kong Kong Chin. Okay, that person is what? Speaking Chinese. I have someone who is also what? Also speaking French. Okay, s'il vous plaît, whatever the person speaks, I don't understand anything. I have French friend, I have a Chinese friend, all of them are what? Are speaking. Okay, so at the end of the day, it is what? It is a problem. But when you talk of multilingualism, whereby you've learned all these languages, okay, you know how to speak French, you know how to speak Chinese, it becomes what? A solution to what? To linguistic barrier. If a Chinese friend is speaking, you can what? You can pay attention, you can speak with a Chinese friend. And if you're a French friend is also speaking, you can what? Speak with a person. Number 73, oral communication is a method of communication through what? A, sound, B, singing, C, praise, D, speech, and then D, dance. So oral communication is a method of communication through speech. Through speech, not sound, not singing, not praise, and not dance. It is what? Through speech. Oral. That's why we say what? It is oral, by word of mouth. So it is done through what? Speech. Number 74, information creation includes A, writing, B, placing, C, sounding, D, playing, and then E, tasking. So the answer is what? The answer becomes writing. Okay, information creation includes what? Writing. If I write, I'm what? Creating information. If I create, I create music. Okay, it is also what? Creation. But placing, if you are placing something, it is not what? Creation. Sounding, it is not what? Creation. Playing is not creation, and then tasking is not creation. Number 75, information storage is dependent on A, one factor, B, two factors, three, C, 3, 4, and then 5 factors. So that is what? Respectively. Now the answer is what? So information storage is dependent on two factors. One, how urgently we need the stored information to be retrievable. Two, the second aspect is that the initial packaging of information. Okay, that is what? The initial packaging of the information, which has to do with what? Information storage went from what? Pigeonholes to bookshelves, right? That's where information went from what? Pigeonholes to what? To bookshelves. Number 76, information dash okay, information dash and writing are intertwined. This one we have solved this question, and you see it keep on repeating itself. So information and what? And what? Information storage and writing are intertwined. Number 77, communication is dash to all human society. A, basic, B, sound, C, instruction, D, language, and then E, plan. So the answer is what? The answer becomes basic. So information is basic to all human societies. Communication is basic. In at workplace, you must what? Communicate with your boss. Communication matters in everything you do. If you're a human being and you fail to communicate, your business will collapse, your church will collapse, your family will collapse. So communication really matters in everything. Why? You get it? So if you fail to communicate effectively in your relationship, it will definitely collapse, right? So it becomes what? Basic. If you have business and you don't give information on time and you allow workers to do everything that they are doing, at the end of the day, the business will collapse. So you must what? Maintain effective communication. It is what? Basic in everything. Businesses that grow are dependent on what? How we communicate. Okay, relationship that becomes what? Successful is dependent on what? On communication. If you have a relationship and you don't really communicate for years, okay, you know what will happen. A typical example is what happened in the Garden of Eden when Adam separated himself from the wife. Just look at what happened within that moment, and that's why we are all struggling. So communication is basic, right? Let's move on to number 78. There are dash source of what? Information. A, one source of information. B, two source of information. C, three, four, and then five source of information respectively. So the answer is what? There are two sources of information. That is what? Primary source, and then the secondary source of what? Information. Number 79. Preliterate. Preliterate refers to the situation where there is absence of what? A, tacit. B, electricity. C, implicit. D, literacy, and then E, teachers. So preliterate society refers to what? A situation whereby there's what? Absence of literacy. Okay, this is where people fail to read and then write. So that is what we call what? Pre-literate society. That's in the olden days where there was what? There was no writing. We haven't invented the writings and the technologies to use what? To communicate among ourselves. Okay, probably brought all these technologies. It was what we call those period as what? A pre-literate society, because it was what? There was absence of literacy. People couldn't read and write. All right, let's move on. Number 80. Number 80 says, two very important aspects of communication are information and A, touch. B, feedback. C, voice. D, sound. And then E, words. So the two aspects of communication are what? Are information and feedback. The answer is what? B. You need what? Information. If you send someone message and a person hasn't replied to you for weeks, how do you feel? Okay, you feel like the person hasn't seen your message. You feel like the person has ignored you. You feel like, what is really wrong? Okay, so when you send someone message and a person is not responding, the information, the communication is incomplete until the person responds. So respond, right? So communication and information, okay, sorry, information and what? And feedback are what? Are the two most important aspects of what? Communication. When it's sent, there are two types of what? How do you call it? Communication. That is one-way communication, two-way communication. One-way communication example is what? WhatsApp messages. When you send someone WhatsApp message, you expect the person to what? To reply you. Okay, and some of these personal chat, and the two-way. So this is what? A communication whereby you receive what? You expect what? Feedback from somebody. And then the two-way communication is what? A situation whereby you send a message without what? Expecting a feedback. Example is what? The university's message they sent you. You are all on the university's list F. All right, so when they send message, even if the message is for what? The graduate student, you still get that information and they don't expect you to reply. Do you get it? This is what? One-way communication. Let's move on. So you are solving past question and at the same time enjoying lecturing, right? You are also studying here. Number 81. The means or path we use to exchange or transmit messages is called dash. Is what? The means or path we use to what? Exchange or transmit messages. So A, decoding. B, encoding. C, medium. And then D, message. And then E, sender. So the answer is what? Medium. The medium means what? The pathway used to what? To exchange or transmit messages. Okay, that is what? The medium. Okay, number 82. Oral tradition dominated dash in pre-literate society. So A, oral tradition dominated what? Sound in pre-literate society. It dominated security in pre-literate society. It dominated information in pre-literate society. It dominated singing in pre-literate society, and it dominated communication in pre-literate what? Society. So we can say that it dominated communication in what? Pre-literate society. So oral tradition dominated communication. Number 83, a function of professional association is development of what? A function of what? Professional association is the development of what? A, code of ethics. B, standard association. C, channel of profession. D, feedback association. And then E, new sentence. So the answer is what? Code of ethics. So one of the functions of what? Professional associations are to what? Are to develop what? Code of ethics. So the professional associations, their function, one of their functions is to what? Develop what? Code of ethics. Number 84, modern information systems are formal and dash based. Okay, so A, communication based. B, technology based. C, information based. E, mass communication based. And then D, mass communication based. And E, sound based. So the answer is what? Technology based. Okay, so modern information systems are what? Formal and technology based. Number 85, communication is deemed to have been completed successfully when both sender and recipient are in one accord to what the dash means. Okay, so A, technology. B, communication. C, sound. E, element. And then D, element. And E, message. So the answer is what? Message. So communication is deemed to have what? Be completed successfully when both the sender and the recipient are in one accord as what the message means. Okay, so when what? When you get to know what the message means, okay, then it becomes what? It becomes what? Successful. The communication becomes what? Successful. Try question 6. Information and dash are what? Intertwined. This one has come. So I won't pay attention. Number 86. Number 86. Okay. Number 86. Information capture include the following, except A, memorization. B, receiving. C, photography. D, audio recording. And then E, digital what? Digitization. So we have information creation and capture, we have memorization, we have writing, photography, audio recording, and digitization. But there is what? There is nothing like receiving. Okay, so we have what? Memorization, it is here. We have photography is here. Audio is also here. And digitization is also here. So receiving is the answer. Receiving is in part. Receiving. Okay. Number 87. The first photocopier was made by what? The answer is what? E. Chester F. Cavison. Chester E. Cavison. Who what? Invented what? The photocopier. Number 88. First photocopier was. Okay, so it was developed by what? It was developed by Chester F. Cavison in what? 1937. Number 86. So 87. So number 87. Okay, so those are 87. Okay, right. So 88. Okay, so the 88 should have been this. Right. So telegraph was invented by Dash in 1830. So sorry, telegraph was invented in 1883 by who developed it? That is what? Samuel Morse. So Samuel Morse developed what? Telegraph in 1837. Samuel Morse developed what? What we call what? Telegraph in 1837. Number 89. Telephone was invented by who invented telephone? So the answer is what? Alexander Graham Bell. Graham Bell developed what? A telephone. That is the first telephone in 1876. Alexander Graham Bell, who developed what? The first telephone. Number 91. Which of the following tools can be used what for the what movement of messages? A. Pen. B. Pencil. C. Sound. And D. Drum. And then E. Ink. So the answer is what? Drum. Drum. In the olden days, they used what drums what to move messages. Okay, so you see them beating this gong gong and this phantom from just to communicate, right? So you can use that one to send a message that the enemies are coming. Oh, gather and let's go for war. So by just hearing what the drum, you'll be able to what to react based on the feedback you hear or the sound you hear. Number 92. Any person any person who is the first and foremost concerned any person who is what first and foremost concerned with the user of information and secondly with the handling of information is called A. Information user, B. Information player, C. Information professional, D. Information player. Or they said information player has become two, and then E. Information standard. So the answer is what? Information user. So information user is what is concerned with what the user of information, and then also what handling of what information, handling of information. Number 93. Number 93. One of the major attributes of the phenomenon of information is the A. Dependency factor, B. Retardation factor, C. Regain factor, D. Produce factor, and then E. Stagnation factor. So the answer is what? Dependency factor. So one of the major attributes of what the phenomenon of information is the dependency factor. You can depend on information. Okay. Number 94. Data could be used to denote A. Premise, B. Factor, C. Center, E. Good, and then D. Good, and then E. Information. So data could be used to denote information. It can give information. Okay. Number 95. ICT and information field are concerned with the following except information creation and capture, information management, information establishment, information transmission, and information storage. So we have all of them here with the exception of what? Information establishment. There's nothing like information establishment here. So that is the answer. Data is from the Latin word called what? A. Data, B. Date, C. Datum, D. Datus, and then E. Dasin. So data is from a Latin word called what? Called datum. Okay, so that's where they got data from. Okay, number 97. Moral censorship involves A. So moral censorship, okay, it involves A. Censorship of males, B. Censorship of what? Crime, C. Censorship of what? Obscenity, and then D. Censorship of what? Reading. So what is the answer here? What is the answer here? So when you talk of what? Moral censorship, it involves what? Okay, so the question which says that moral censorship involves what? The answer is what? Censorship of what? Obscenity. Censorship of what? Obscenity. Things like pornographic materials and other stuff will not be allowed. Okay, if you are writing a book with this content, it will be what? It will be censored. Right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next question. Number 98. In Africa, oral tradition. In Africa, oral tradition, children are A. Authoritarian, B. Listeners, C. Source of wisdom, and then D. None of their birth. So the answer is what? Listeners. In Africa, when the old man speaks or the old speaks, you, the child, has to listen. You don't have a say. So the children are what? Listeners. Number 99. Traditional information is full of what? A, bias. B, wisdom. C, that is what? Um, embellishment. And then D, none of the above. So the answer is what? Okay, for me, that's what I choose. Okay, that's what I think. It is what? Wisdom. It's full of what? Wisdom. The traditional information is full of wisdom. That is what I believe too. Okay, number 100. Religious censorship enables a country to what? A, curtail religious material. B, provide religious material. C, provide religious material. And then we what? D, supply of what? Religious material. So the answer is what? To curtail religious material. So some of the things that they think it is what? It is against the doctrines of their country or the religious belief, they would censor it. Okay, that is it. And a lot of things happen. Okay, there are some of these things that you'll be looking at that will be coming. So okay, the example of censorship information and other stuff in Ghana. So all these things will be bringing you them. Okay, so watch out for my next, that is the part 3. Okay, if you have not shared this video, please take your time, just 1 minute, and then share this video, comment, like, and share. All right, and if you have someone that wants to travel, recommend the person to me. Okay, let the person can also visit our website on what? Globalassurance.com, www.globalassurance.com. We have so many packages, that is a visa before payment, payment before visa, and payment in installment. If you want to go to USA, Canada, wherever you want to go, if you are even a head personnel or any military or whatever, and you want to go outside, get in touch and everything will be sorted out. Thank you for your time. God bless you. See you in the next video.